get the JB Weld mixed up. I want to go ahead and get it put on. That way it can have a full 24 hours to set and harden. And then in the morning, when I'm ready to get out here and start milling, alright guys, this is the next day. We ended up having a little bit more weather come through yesterday, so didn't get a chance to actually start working on the repairs on this or the saw shed over there. But as you can see, this is dented up real bad, and there's a pretty good size hole right there. I have reached out to Woodland Mills, so I'm working on getting a replacement for the water tank, but I want to make sure that I can keep milling while I'm waiting on that to come in. So I went to the store today and got some JB Weld. This is not a pressurized system, so I'm not worried about it too much. So we're going to mix up some of this JB Weld, and I'm going to go ahead and seal that hole right there. It's a pretty good size hole, guys, if you see my finger right there. I have not put water in this yet because I was still in the break-in period, guys, and they said don't put water in it for the first 30 minutes to 50 minutes or something like that on the mill. And I didn't get to that point with the mill, so no water's even been in here yet before it's already gotten crushed. So what I'm going to do, get the JB Weld mixed up. I want to go ahead and get it put on. That way it can have a full 24 hours to set and harden. And then in the morning, when I'm ready to get out here and start milling, the wood that I'm going to need to build the platform for that, so I can get that re-squared up and try to add a bunch more screws. I did go out to HQ and got a bunch of self-tapping metal screws that I had in the shop out there to try to piece this back together. But I think the key to getting that shed salvaged is going to be able to have a good platform on the bottom to be able to screw it to and be able to square everything back up and get it to where that never happens again. So let's go ahead and get this JB Weld mixed up, get this on there, that way it can start drying. It completely cures in about 15 to 24 hours. So if we can get it on right now, we should be good to go by morning. So what you're going to do is, this is the steel part, that's the hardener part. It's equal parts. Haven't used JB Weld in a while. There we go. All right, time for me to use my high-tech mixing tool, a stick I found over there. Mix it up, it should be gray. Alright. Do have some gloves with me, just in case I need it for applying, because I don't really have a very good tool to apply it with. I'm actually going to use part of the box. Might end up having to mix up some more. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry for a little bit. I mess with it too much being there's such a big gap. It's just gonna keep making that hole open back up. So I'm gonna let it dry a little bit, and then for about an hour or two, just to stiffen a little bit, and then I'll mix up a fresh coat and I'll put one more coat on there, and then we'll let it dry overnight. All right guys, I gave the second coat another day to dry. Everything seems to be dry and good to go now. Now we're gonna go ahead and test it. I'm gonna go ahead and put some water in here and see how it works. Hopefully it works like it's supposed to, because we got another storm coming, and I would like to start working on that floor of that shed to try to keep it from blowing across the property again. So let's get the water turned on and fill it up. Put some Dawn dish soap and some pine sol in there, because we got pine to cut. All right, let's check it out. I don't see no leaks whatsoever. Looks like the JB Weld did the trick. We'll go ahead and open up the little valve here. Let some water start running through. All right, we should be good to go. There is one more thing that I'm gonna do with the jerkiness of it coming down now. I've got a little bit of white lightning that I'm gonna spray just a little bit right in here, just to grease that up a little bit. I don't want to do too much because I don't want sawdust and stuff to get clumped up in there. If that doesn't work, I have been on the phone with the Woodland Mills support team, and first of all, customer service was absolutely amazing. Response time was amazing, and they're actually sending me a brand new water tank to fix it. No questions asked, guys. One of the main reasons I went with Woodland Mills is because I've heard nothing but good about their customer support and the company itself in general. So far, first mishap I've had right at the beginning, I couldn't be happier. All right, we're gonna put a little bit here, a little bit there. Tech support actually told me if this didn't work, that I might have to do a thing they call the shakedown method. So hopefully it works. Looks like we're doing the shakedown method. Now for the shakedown part. As you can see, one of the problems is right here. It's very tight up against, but in the back there's a big gap, and it's that way on the other side, except it's opposite. It's tight in the back, loose in the front. So I need to kind of split the difference on both sides, and that'll make sure that it's square. They call it the shakedown method. Just ain't having no luck. Took the power head all the way up and it blew the fuse, and I don't have no more fuses. So just unloaded all the tools out my truck so I can run to town and get some fuses. And it's already starting to get windier. It's not looking good for the shed over there, but I got a solution for that after we get this fixed. That can temporarily strap it down until I can get the floor built. Well, unfortunately, I haven't been able to get all the shake out of the saw, so I think I'm gonna run it for a little while, see if it'll work itself out a little bit. I did get this away from there just a little bit. I don't think that's the issue though. This bar right here is like going like this when it's coming in and out, and I think that's where the shakiness is coming from. So I don't know if that rod got bent a little bit in there or what. All I know to do is run it for a little while and we'll see what happens. It's starting to get windy. Somebody done started burning in the area apparently. It's getting smoky. Kind of crazy. All right, let's go ahead and get this log that's on here turned and do a couple of cuts and see where we're at. We're gonna make some 2x4s out of this for pallets. I did is I cut that one in half to where it'd be 4 inches. Once I start cutting these, now I can just do 2-inch cuts and make 2 sets of 2x4s as I go down. I went ahead and put my first 2 rip pieces off there too. That way whenever I'm making that, I can do some 1x2 stickers for the pallet as well. All right, I think it'll work. Let's knock this out. We should end up with let's see here, 10 2x4s. Well, there you have it, guys. 10 2x4s and about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 1x2s. The first 2 still had a lot of the live edge on there, so couldn't use those. But to get 10 2x4s out of that, I'm actually going to make the pallet that wide. That way I can get more wood on there. It's probably going to end up being a long pallet, probably about 14 to 16 foot. Let's see how long. Yeah, so 76 inches roundabout is about how wide I'm going to make it. And my forks are 47 inches, so that should be plenty to get up underneath there. All right, I'm gonna get these stacked over there. Also, more good news. As I started cutting, vibration started happening. It seems to be tracking up and down a whole lot better. You could definitely tell the difference with that dried pine though. It's a little bit more of an effort to push it, but the blade honestly might be getting dull at this point. Might want to put a new blade on after this next log. I'm not seeing any kind of ripples or anything like that, and all of my measurements are true, so that tells me that everything should still be square. So I'm happy that we got that part fixed. Now once we get the new water tank on, we'll put that on, but the one that I'm using right now with the JB Weld is working just fine. The water's hitting the blade real well, so everything's going pretty good. All right, we're already getting late into the day. Sawmill took a whole lot longer than I was expecting to get up and going, so the only thing I could think of to do to try to save this shed with the next storm coming up is I got these big old stakes that I'm gonna try to stake in a couple of different areas around this thing, and hopefully that works for the time being until this storm passes. Then we're supposed to have about 5 days of decent weather, and then I can build the floor for it, get everything screwed down, and actually make this a true saw shed. All right, let's grab a beater. It's hammer time. Now, one of the big problems with doing this here on the mountain is so rocky. It's hard to drive a stake in anywhere. Let's hope I finally get lucky. Now, this area right here is pushed in. This is where it separated in the last storm. I'm going to try to push it out a little bit. Got to get one of the straighter stakes that I got. I don't know how well this is going to work. I got 16 stakes down on the inside, 4 on each wall. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a rope right over there a little bit lower than the shed, and I'm going to run it to the front corner of my trailer here and see if I can put some tension on the roof just to help it from being able to pick up. And that's really all I can do for now till I get that floor built with a little more weight. All right, tight, holding a little bit of weight. Seems pretty sturdy to me. Between the stakes and that rope. Hopefully that'll get it through the next storm. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take a yellow strap and I'm gonna go all the way around the track through that little triangle right there and strap down the head to the track so it can't blow off again. That track should not be able to completely tip, or else we got bigger problems than that. Guys, the only thing I got left to do is put the cover on, get the rest of these tools up, and we're ready for the storm again. All right, guys, got it covered, locked down, all the tools up, got the door shut, that's strapped down. We're ready for the storm tomorrow. And then, like I said, we got 5 days of good weather, unless the weather changes. You know how that is. And then I'll build the floor and see if I can straighten this back out any. And hopefully turn this into a good little saw shed for the sawmill right here that I can drag around and move around. But I think that's going to be about it for this one, guys. It did not start good in this video. But a big shout out to Woodland Mills and their tech support and customer service. Y'all made this a whole lot easier on me, guys. Took a lot of the stress out of all this. I'm happy that I got the parts that I need to make this thing look brand new again on the way. And I'm also glad that I was able to do a temporary fix on it to be able to get it to mill so I can get that shed taken care of before it ain't worth saving. All right, guys, I love every single one of y'all. Until we see each other again, come out and let's go on another adventure.